But I don't think in any way, shape, or form we have left money on the table in the sense that coulda, woulda, shoulda spent it but didn't. With the one exception is, and you know, Senator Davis was talking about this. We've made some optimistic assumptions. We talked about the deferral. We talked about underfunding what we think Medicaid is going to be. We talked about some other areas. We assumed that general revenue, property values would grow faster than the comptroller originally predicted. All of those things are a substitute for spending more of the rainy day fund. You really can't do both. You got to pick one or the other. And it's not fiscally irresponsible to do one or the other. It's fiscally responsible to do both. So I don't think we left money on the table in that context. The one area that I'm a little bit frustrated about and couldn't get the legislature to agree with me is there's billions of dollars outside of the, quote, Treasury that are still state dollars. One of them is the tobacco funds that have $3.2 billion in that. And why it was so hard to convince the Senate and in particular the House to use a small fraction of that to help cover some of these issues that we all talk about as being necessary is one of the great frustrations that I've had this session. Texas, once again, is not broke. It has billions of dollars in the bank. What we're dealing with is as Senator Hinojosa's fond reminded me, a cash flow problem, and it really is. And that cash flow problem is improving because the economy is recovering.
Well,
but Senator, I don't think we left money on the table. Except for those funds outside the Treasury.
I will agree with you in the sense of looking at Texas and saying that we're really not a poor state. You know, it's got over a $1 trillion economy that is working, and I was hoping it'd be working in favor of our citizens. I just don't feel that you were given the tools and we were given the tools to be able to do better. I know we can do better, and I know there are options that we left out of the process that could have meant significantly less in cuts in health care and education, especially in other areas of the budget as well. And I respectfully disagree, though, that Texas, those that say that Texas is the envy of the nation, I don't see, and I can understand how that could be so, especially when I listen to the statistics that are being shared with us by Senator Ellis here this afternoon, statistics that I've known all along. So I hope that we will do better. I'm going to come back in 2 years, God willing, and I'm going to continue, like everyone else on this floor, to address issues that are important to our district, but also to treat Texas as one Texas family, working together, understanding, and caring for one another, and making sure that when we take issues such as TWIA and southbound, checkpoints that we need to make sure we are able to take care of all our homeland security issues, that we do it together as one body, one family. Unfortunately, we have not succeeded in some of those issues like we should. And I feel very differently that some of us still are not at the table when it comes to the discussion of those issues that are important to all of us. I am very fortunate, Mr. Chairman. I'm one of 31 out of 20-something million people in this state that come together every 2 years to address the issues that are important to us individually and collectively as a state. And I want to play an integral part of that, but we need to make sure that we look at every available option out there and that we try our best to bring those values that all of us talk about, that we have lived up, that we have lived with, that we are living with, and not segregate, the faith that each one of us has, our individual faith, from the service to the people of the state. I cannot do that. I will never do that. And I invite all my colleagues to think about that in the next couple of years as we see some of the impact, the negative impacts that these cuts are going to have. We don't help an economy by increasing unemployment, and I think that this budget will increase unemployment, unfortunately. But I'll stop there, and I'll just reiterate once again, Mr. Chairman, you are one of Texas's best and brightest, and the people that I serve with here are in the same category, and I have a greater respect for all of you. I just hope that next time around, we can do much, much better. Thank you, sir.